I'm reporter Cade Roberts with History Network News, reporting to you from Washington, D.C.
It's April 18th, 1961, the day after the attack on the Bay of Pigs in Cuba. The president just gave a speech addressing the events that occurred yesterday. The conflict with Cuba began when the current leader, Fidel Castro, overthrew Fulgencio Batista, who the Americans supported. Since he has gained power, Castro has been very open with his anti-American attitudes. Recently, Cuba has become very closely tied to the Soviet Union through their leaders Fidel Castro and Nikita Khrushchev. Knowing that an attempt to remove communist presence merely 90 miles away from U.S. soil was necessary, President Eisenhower decided it was time to act. He made a motion for the CIA to train troops composed of anti-Castro ex-Cubans in Guatemala beginning in early 1960. This was known as Brigade 2056. Now, a year later, under a new president, John F. Kennedy, the troops are ready for the attack. President Kennedy sent the troops and waited anxiously for the news. Unfortunately, information somehow leaked to Castro, who aligned forces to prepare for the attack. The United States military forces were ravaged by the Cubans, who were awaiting our arrival. On April 17th, there were nearly 1,400 Cuban exiles sent by the U.S. to attack, of which over 100 were killed and 1,100 were captured. This was a great loss for the United States in the fight against communism. In the president's speech today, he said, "It is clear that this nation, in concert with all the free nations of this hemisphere, must take an even closer and more realistic look at the menace of external communist intervention and domination in Cuba. This suggests that the Bay of Pigs should serve as a wake-up call to the American people." In the rest of his speech, he remained adamant that it is necessary to continue in the fight against communism and that we, along with the rest of the world, must not give up. More information on the events that has occurred is to follow. This has been reporter Cade Roberts here in Washington, D.C.